The required pieces for the muscle tank with the neckband option are one front, one back, one neckband, two side bands, and one waistband. To begin, we're going to sew the front and back together, and we're also going to fold the waistband and the neckband in half and sew the short ends together. So I'm going to take my side bands and move them. And I'm going to lay open with right side up the front of my tank. And I'm going to take the back and lay it right sides together with the front, lining up these shoulder seams. Now I'm taking the waistband, I'm going to fold it right sides together, and I'm going to line up these short ends. And you can choose to fold it one more time like this and sew, or you can choose to just sew it like this, and then you'll, in both scenarios, have to fold it right side out. This method, however, makes the seam less bulky, so that's the one I'm choosing to do. Taking the neckband and folding it in half, lining up those short ends again, and then folding it one more time. You can fold it just like this and sew, or fold it again. The choice is yours. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my shirt to my serger, and I'm going to serge the shoulder seams, and I'm going to take my neckband and my waistband to my sewing machine, and I'm going to use a straight stitch and sew this raw edge together here and here. Here we are at the serger, and I'm going to sew my shoulder seams right here. So foot up, and then I need to take this clip out right here. Okay, now I just need to there we go. Alright, so next we're going to turn our neckband and our waistbands right side out, and then we're going to fold it in half again with wrong sides together. If you did the double fold before you sew, it's naturally going to want to do this. If not, just fold it in half with the wrong sides together, lining up the raw edges of the long end. Fold in half at the seam, and then mark the side opposite of the seam. I'm using a clip because I feel it's more accurate. I also recommend taking this over to your iron and giving it a good press. So folding it in half, seams here. I'm going to mark here with a pin. Now that we have these marked, and you can take them over and press them, we're going to fold our side bands in half and press those. Our side bands we're going to fold wrong sides together. With your band folded in half, wrong sides together, take it over to your iron and press it, and then repeat on your other side band. Now we're going to work on attaching the side bands to the side of our muscle tank. So with your side bands folded and pressed, fold them in half one more time and mark this center point right here. This center point will be clipped to our shoulder seam here. So let's open up the muscle tank right side up. We're going to make sure that this seam is towards the back of the shirt. That'll be the side with the higher neckline. And we're just going to take one of our side bands, and we're going to open it up, and we're going to line it up at the shoulder seam with the raw edges to the raw edge of our tank. We're lining up the corner of the side band with the bottom of the shirt, so right here. Okay, so we're ready to take it over to the machine, and I'll start by sewing from one of the bottom sides. And then about 2 inches before I reach the side seam, I'll stretch the band. So in an area from here to here, it doesn't require much stretching. As you can see, it pretty much is the same length. And yeah. Okay, so we're going to sew the side bands on. I'm going to start at this bottom edge. As you can see, I did a poor job cutting my fabric, so my corners aren't lined up. And I'll just have to make it work. With the side bands sewn on, flip your side bands out and you're gonna cut off the little bit of hangover that is there. Line up your straight edge with the bottom of the front and back pieces and then cut the little bit off that is there. Okay, so I've already done my other side. Now I want to take this over and I want to press the band out, and if you would like, you could top stitch your band at this point, but I'm not going to do that. So what I'm going to do is roll right into doing our side seams. What you want to do is make sure that the front is overlapping the back. So this is the front. I know it's the front because of the low neckline. And I'm just going to overlap it right here at the seam. And I'm gonna put a clip in it. And I'm actually gonna baste this because it makes it easier when I attach the waistband. So front, wrapping around the back, lining up that seam. And the clip in it. I'm just going to take this over to my sewing machine and do a straight stitch to baste it in place. All right, so I basted my side seam here and here, and now I'm going to attach the waistband. So my waistband, raw edges are down. This is the side opposite of the seam. The seam and this mark will go over the seam inside of the shirt. Okay, now we're ready to take it over to the machine, and we're going to either use a zigzag or other stretch stitch. I'm going to use a Serge. It's a stretch stitch made on my overlock. And I'll show you how I do it. And we're going to sew all the way around. And yeah, let's go. Okay, so let's sew the waistband on. I'm going to start at one of my side seams, and then I'm going to evenly stretch just the waistband around to the other seam and then back around again. So starting here, I'm sewing in the round. My foot is inside of the round hole. All right, our waistband is sewn on, and the last step for this is to do the neckband. So I'm going to take my shirt and fold it in half at the shoulder seams. This is going to tell me where the center front and center back of my shirt are. And that's important to know because I want to be able to evenly stretch my neckband between the front of my shirt and the back of my shirt. and the back of my shirt to the front of my shirt. Because we're only dividing this up into 2 pieces. Because the length from here up and down is equal to the length from here to here. So if we attach it in these 2 spots and we stretch evenly from here to here, then it will be sewn on evenly if we evenly stretch the neckband from here to here. Okay, so front and center back are marked. My seam goes into the back, so I'm going to clip that right sides together. And then front goes here. There we have it. So I'll take it over to the machine and I'll show you how I sew it on using my serger. If you don't have a serger, make sure you are sewing this on with a stretch stitch. Keep in mind, some zigzag stitches, if you make them too wide and too long, will not allow your fabric to stretch the way you want it to. So keep that in mind and test it on a piece of knit fabric before you use it if you want to see if it'll work. Sewing the neckband on, this is our final step. I'm starting in center back. My foot is up. I'm just going to slide this under till I get to that seam. Foot is now down and I'm going to go. And I will be stretching my neckband. I'll also make sure that this seam is towards the back of my shirt as I sew. Congratulations, your Northlake tank is finished. It looks fantastic. Go ahead and give that neckline a good press, as well as your side seam, side bands if you haven't done it. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed watching this video tutorial for the Northlake tank with the muscle tank option and the neckband option. And if you enjoy watching this, please subscribe to my channel and check out some more of my Rain City patterns. See you later. Bye.